drivers across the UK have been shaken by an alarming headline: MOT shock, major rule change coming before Christmas. The message has stirred anxiety. What exactly is changing, and how will it affect ordinary motorists? The good news is, there's time to get ahead of it, but those who ignore the warnings could face unexpected fines, failed tests, or worse. At the heart of this overhaul is a crackdown on fraudulent, ghost MOTs, those suspect certificates issued without the vehicle ever undergoing a proper test. The DVSA is pushing to eliminate this malpractice by requiring MOT testers to take live, verifiable photographs of the car during the test, with number plates clearly visible, then link those images to the MOT record. Any attempt to upload stock imagery or pre-saved photos will be disallowed. RAC +2 black circles +2. This shift may sound technical, but it's designed to restore confidence in the MOT process, making sure that every pass reflects a legitimate assessment of a real car. Black circles +1. What this means for drivers is that garages will face stricter compliance rules, and motorists may encounter delays or new procedural steps when booking or completing MOTs. For example, garages must use their systems to take photos at the testing bay, not rely on phones or images brought in later, which adds a layer of administrative work to every test. John Delaney: the change is intended to deter rogue operators who issue certificates without conducting proper inspections. Ghost MOTs are said to account for a worrying proportion of fraudulent passes. RAC +1, but that's not all. Alongside the photographic requirement, revised guidelines for testing critical systems like braking, suspension, wipers, and seat belts have already been introduced, from December 2024, meaning more stringent standards will apply during tests. John Delaney: motorists who expect MOTs to grow laxer should think again. Even subtle faults that might have passed before could now be flagged. Those who carry on as before might find their cars failing on points that once were tolerated. John Delaney +1: the message is clear. Don't assume your car is probably okay, prepare it properly. One particular warning being circulated is that drivers who schedule their MOTs before Christmas should be especially vigilant. As the new measures roll out, environments of increased scrutiny could result in more strict enforcement, meaning minor oversights might lead to failures or fines up to £1,000 in extreme cases. The Sun +1. While much of the legislative implementation is still underway, the mere possibility of harsher treatment means that those planning tests in the coming weeks should treat their pre-MOT checks as more crucial than ever. Many motoring sources stress that these changes primarily affect garages and testers rather than drivers directly, but the impact will filter down. While drivers won't need to adopt entirely new behaviors overnight, complacency becomes riskier. A light bulb out, a cracked windscreen, or worn wiper blades that would once have passed might now tip a test over the edge. That's especially true since examiners will be under pressure to enforce consistency and legitimacy. RAC +2 black circles +2. Here's how drivers should prepare now. First, schedule any pending MOTs early. Don't wait until the last minute when garages may be adjusting to new systems or overwhelmed. Second, conduct your own pre-checks: tire tread, lights, indicators, mirrors, windscreen condition, wiper effectiveness, and the basics of braking and suspension. Get minor fixes done beforehand to avoid instant rejection. Third, keep records of your maintenance and repairs. You may want to show proof that faults were addressed. Fourth, choose trusted, accredited MOT centers. Licensed garages are more likely to have the proper setup and adherence to new rules. Insurance implications add another layer. If an MOT certificate is later questioned because its legitimacy is doubtful, if the linked photographs are missing or flawed, drivers could find their insurance invalidated in the event of a claim. That's a risk many will want to avoid. So while the rule change aims to clean up fraud, its side effect is pushing all drivers to be more meticulous about their MOT status and compliance. Ultimately, the MOT shock headline isn't just clickbait. The changes for 2025 represent a significant tightening of the MOT framework. The test, once largely focused on safety and emissions, is becoming a defended process, guarded against abuse. Drivers who assume business as usual may be in for a surprise at their next test. But those who act now, taking precautions, booking early, and ensuring their car is in sound condition, can navigate the transition smoothly.